The offseason is right around the bend, and the New England Patriots are already being linked back to free agents as Joe Flacco to the Patriots is a real possibility. Let's get into it. What's going on, Pats Nation? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. I appreciate you guys for clicking on today's video to hear me talk about some Patriots news. Today's video, as always, brought to you by BetUS. We'll talk to you a little bit later about them. Got to address the elephant in the room. Clearly not in my studio. This isn't the most professional setup that we usually have. That's because your boy could only take so much equipment on an airplane. I am in Mobile, Alabama, covering the Senior Bowl, covering some of the top prospects that are going to be entering this year's draft with the rest of the guys from Roundtable Sports. So, that's the life. Any breaking news happens for the Patriots this week, this is the type of video that you can expect. But wanted to come on here and hit on this news coming from Tony Pauline that Joe Flacco is expected to receive interest from the San Francisco 49ers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the New England Patriots. I think this comes as a shock to some people. Many people, I feel like, are under the assumption, well, if you want another veteran mentor quarterback, why don't you go out and just bring back Jacoby Brissett? We're going to break down why I think this is a real possibility and why I think it would be a brilliant idea by Mike Vrabel. But this is what Tony Pauline had to say about the situation. Said, and I quote, "I'm told to keep an eye on the San Francisco 49ers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and New England Patriots as suitors for Flacco in the offseason, as all would look for a veteran backup." First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room. Why would you not go with somebody like Joe Milton, somebody who popped off for you in that Week 18 game against the Buffalo Bills, popped off for you in the preseason? And this could be because one of two things. Now, number one, we did address just about a week or two ago the rumors coming out that supposedly the Patriots are receiving trade interest from teams for Joe Milton. So if the Patriots bring on Flacco, that would give them the potential to trade somebody off like Joe Milton if they get the draft compensation back in return that they would like. Now, the other thing is that they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket, right? If Drake May goes down, which everybody knock on wood right now, that doesn't happen. But if for some reason he went down, is Joe Milton a guy that they're comfortable with rolling as their quarterback one? Maybe not. Yes, he looked good against the Buffalo Bills in Week 18. Yes, he looked good in the preseason, but he hasn't played against starters. And the big thing with Joe Milton is that he can look like an all-pro quarterback one week and look like a UDFA quarterback the next. That's a big reason why he fell so low in the draft. Bigger thing here is that you're worried about Drake May. That was the biggest asset that the Patriots had, not just last year, but one of the biggest assets they've had in recent years. And I'm someone who's been a big candidate on making sure that you are as invested in his development in year two as you were in year one. And we're seeing from Mike Vrabel that he is taking that second year leap and that second year of development for Drake May very seriously. When you look at somebody like Mac Jones, and there was a lot of reasons why Mac Jones failed, right? But one of the biggest reasons why Mac Jones failed was because after year one, heading into his second year, Belichick asked him to do things that Tom Brady was doing. Belichick also got rid of his veteran mentor quarterback in Brian Hoyer just a few weeks into the regular season because Brian Hoyer was going out voicing his displeasures with hiring somebody like Matt Patricia. It's only year two for Drake May. He has a high football IQ, but a lot of development to still go. And he needs not just an offensive coordinator, not just a quarterback's coach, but a guy that he can go to in times of need, after the game, during the game, that can kind of be his best friend, can give him all of the answers, and not just as a coach, but a guy who's done it before in the league. And Joe Flacco has been doing it for a very long time. Getting into his repertoire here a little bit, he was with the Baltimore Ravens from 2008 to 2018. Many of you probably know Joe Flacco because he won a Super Bowl as the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Not just that, but he was the Super Bowl MVP that year when the Ravens won. Then he spent time with the Denver Broncos in 2019, the New York Jets in 2020, the Philadelphia Eagles in 2021, back to the New York Jets from 2021 to 2022, the Cleveland Browns with Alex Van Pelt in 2023, and then the Indianapolis Colts from 2024, and then obviously is expected to hit free agency. And Joe Flacco did play a little bit this past year with the Colts. We'll get into his stat line there in just a minute. But I more so want to note what Joe Flacco was able to do with the Cleveland Browns, with Alex Van Pelt just back in 2023. Because Deshaun Watson goes down, who's the guy that steps up? Joe Flacco, a guy they signed off of the couch last minute, late into the season, and Joe Flacco got them to the postseason. If something was to happen to Drake May, which again, knock on wood that doesn't happen, Joe Flacco is a veteran. Joe Flacco is still a good enough quarterback, despite being 40, to where, yes, he's not going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's probably not going to get you to a Super Bowl, but he still very well can get you to the postseason. But before we continue on today's video, I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of this video over at BetUS. Right now, when you guys sign up and use the code you see on the screen when you do sign up, YouTube150, that is YouTube150, you will lock yourselves into a limited time exclusive offer of a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, followed by 125 on your next two, all the way up to $2,000. Guys, we finally have the Super Bowl in our rear view mirror, just a couple of weeks out. We know the matchup, Eagles, Chiefs, and you can get in the Super Bowl action with the sign-up bonus with BetUS. And the deal doesn't stop there, because they're also giving you 10% back on your net losses 2 times a year and giving you your very own personalized account manager. My favorite thing about BetUS, though, is the fact that if you don't want to bet on the current landscape of the NFL, you don't have to do that. You can bet on NFL futures, such as where certain, free agents are going to go, who's going to, do certain things in the draft, who's going to, be selected first in the draft. Those are just some of the cool things that you can bet on with BetUS, and they have live wagering on all major games. So remember that supporting the sponsors that support the channel supports me massively, and in result gives you guys better and more consistent content. We cannot be here doing this full time, traveling to Mobile, traveling to the Super Bowl, giving you guys exclusive, unbiased content if it was not for our sponsors. But play smart, play responsible, never bet more than you can afford to lose. But shout out to BetUS. Now, like I said, Joe Flacco did get some playing time. He actually got a good amount of playing time this past season with the Colts, because Anthony Richardson dealing with some injuries, also just not playing good football. So they sat him down for a while and they went to Joe Flacco. In the games, in the total of 8 games that Joe Flacco started this past season, he completed 65.3% of his passes for 1,761 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So again, not bad for a guy that you're asking to be a backup. In terms of the contract the Patriots would give him, it would be a 1-year deal. That's what teams are giving Joe Flacco. They are taking it year to year, just purely based off the fact that he's a backup to bridge mentor quarterback, and also being 40. That's why teams are taking it year to year. When he signed with the Colts in free agency last year, he signed a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. That's roughly half of what Jacoby Brissett got. So I could see the Patriots having interest in him and only giving him, $5-6 million max, less than what they gave Jacoby Brissett. And many people asking, well, why not just bring back Jacoby Brissett? I think Jacoby wants to go somewhere where he can still play ball. He can still be a starter, even if it's not for the full season, kind of do what he did for the Patriots this year, but with another team. Go somewhere where he's going to start the season, maybe has some familiarity with the team, but he's going to start the season. And when that quarterback is ready, and that the development of that quarterback is well enough for that rookie guy to take over, then Jacoby Brissett's ultimately going to sit on the bench. When I see Joe Flacco, I see a guy that isn't going to start the season for you, but can start in a pinch if need be. Jacoby's still young, and he has more than enough football in him to still go out and be a high-level bridge quarterback. Again, I would be a major, major fan of this signing, mostly because of what it does for somebody like Drake May. Make sure you are attacking his development at all levels that you possibly can, whether it's the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, the head coach, surrounding him with weapons, making sure that he has veteran quarterbacks behind him that he can rely on and go to if need be. And that is exactly what Joe Flacco is. But this is where I kick it to you guys. What are your thoughts on the report that the Patriots are expected to target quarterback Joe Flacco in free agency this offseason? To those people complaining that it's a waste of money, The Patriots, they need talent. They need experience. They need veterans more specifically. And they're expected to lead the NFL in cap space with roughly $133 million. You take 5-6 million of that maximum and give it to a guy who's been to the Super Bowl and can help you build your culture. That's money well spent in my mind. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel for all your New England Patriots news. We'll be back in the studio this weekend before we head out to the Super Bowl. So more content coming your way. But as always, appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.